All right, sippers, welcome to this episode of the Tea With Me podcast with me, Shane Todd. Before we get into this episode, I got to say tickets are on sale now. Are they on sale now, Dan? For our live podcast in the SSE Arena, Tea With Me Live. My guests, Kieran Bartlett and Dave Elliott. Dan, is that on the 27th of September? 23rd of September. Get your tickets now. Great Christmas gift for a friend or an enemy. You know, if someone hates the podcast, what better way than just getting them 24 tickets? We are sponsored by NordVPN. You know what this is by now. VPN does not stand for, Virgin Pirate Knuckle. No, Knuckles. It's Virtual Private Network, a service that protects your internet connection and privacy online. Basically, if you're out and about, you're joining public Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi?
If you're in Wi-Fi's on Newton Road, joining their Wi-Fi hotspot, which is called the Wi-Fi's Wi-Fi hotspot, and they should change that. You can protect your online identity with NordVPN. It allows you to use public Wi-Fi safely. And also, it allows you to be in any country. Guys, I'm not talking about teleportation. I'm talking about hiding your IP address, for God's sake. You could be in Senegal and you'd be there going, oh, but I can't see, the Blame Game. Don't worry. You can. And that's what all those folks over there are doing to access Northern Irish TV content. There's people... Thanks to us, there's people in Lithuania able to watch Leicester Spotted Ulster, and it's all because of NordVPN. Go to nordvpn.com/tea with me. You get a huge discount and 4 months free. It's risk-free with NordVPN. 30-day money-back guarantee. We are also sponsored by none other than Manscaped.
Yes.
Now, these guys have been about the ball game since Pussy was a kitten. You know them, you love them, and what better way to get someone to let someone know you're thinking about them for Christmas, and more specifically their undercarriage. Does your dad need a wee shape up down there? Peer in and see, as long as he lets you. And if he needs a wee something done down there, Manscaped. They do the Lawnmower 4.0. They do ball cleanser, ball deodorant, ball wipes, and your dad will go, I can't be lugging this about me, these, because your dad always gets leads tangled, doesn't he? Wireless charging technology. It's got a light on. If your dad wants to go into the coal shed and shave his balls, he can do that on Christmas morning. If it all gets too much for him, all the Christmas music on, your dad goes, listen, I just want to shave my gooch. You go, Daddy, away you go. Turn the lights off and enjoy yourself. Tea With Me is the code for 20% off and free shipping. Go to manscaped.com. Tea With Me, 20% off free shipping. The links for all these and the instructions are in the description. My guests today are two young men sitting across from me right now.
Yeah, two.
On my left.
Yeah.
You're both on my left.
No.
And the white jumper, off-white, is none other than Andrew Ryan. Am I pronouncing that right?
100% correct, Shane.
Great. Joining Andrew is Aaron Butler. Now,
Yep, that is my name.
me and Aaron have been friends for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to see that you guys are doing some stuff together with your Cork in the North podcast. Aaron's kind of a co-host. Now, part of me is a little bit put out because he is like another comedy boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it is a wee bit difficult to take.
Well,
and I think sometimes he does rub my nose in it a wee bit.
Does he? Well,
I do.
How did you guys get together?
Grinder.
it's Grinder. We swiped right, I swiped right, went to the Kremlin. It was great.
We start a podcast about it.
Podcast together. What goes up must come down. You know what I mean? No, we kicked together before.
Cork in the North or Cock in the Mouth?
Cock in the North. That's our OnlyFans page.
That's the only fans.
Me and Andrew gigged together 12 years ago at the BBC New Comedy Awards in the Empire. He won the heat. I came second. And
He also re-entered this year.
oh, yeah. 11 years later, I re-entered
New Comedy
I re-entered the same competition and came in a lower position. What does that tell you about me? Fuck it. Like, yeah, there we are.
Also, I gave him, right, so I was a guest judge on the New Comedy Awards, and I gave him a lift up.
Yeah.
And then we were like, will they mind? Like, because I didn't want to show any bias. I was worried because I know all the acts that are from here, and me and him should have probably like staggered our entrance into the venue, but the producers clearly saw from outside the building me and him get out of my car and then walk to the venue.
High-fiving.
And one of them went like kind of joking. She went, "Oh, did you give him a lift?" And they saw it, and I was like, "No." But they saw, like,
I love how you gave him a lift up and you still didn't put him through to the final.
No,
Oh, I didn't get on the show.
I didn't get on the show.
Didn't get on the show.
They goes to me, do you want to do a warm-up slot for it? You're not through, like. And I was like,
He said
well,
there
I
was a
guess.
guy who looked like you entered this in 1998. But you won.
I won the heat.
He won the heat.
won
I
the
did
first
that night.
heat.
Right.
And then I went through. But at the time when I did the BBC Comedy Award, you could only be a comedian for 12. I think it was 12 or 18 months.
Right.
So you had to be very new. But obviously, as the BBC Comedy Award has changed, I think they say, and they changed it this year because of the pandemic and people weren't being able to do live shows. I think they just said like, oh, you can't be kind of like getting paid.
They keep changing the rules for me, you see.
Yeah,
They keep
yeah.
widening the goalposts.
In about 5 years' time, it'd be like over 40s are allowed in now. Like,
the over 40 category in the new BBC
specifically
Comedy.
West Belfast people. And you still won't get fucking through.
Yeah, it's still you. But yeah.
No, it's been brilliant though.
Fun times. Yeah, that's how we originally gigged together.
That's how we.
And
But
then,
you were annoyed
and
with me
then-
that night, weren't you?
no, I wasn't. Here's what annoyed
You
me
told me
about
that you
it.
annoyed with me.
I wasn't. I was jokingly annoyed with you because here's why.
Oh, whatever it is, he was annoyed 100%.
No,
Yeah.
here's why. I had a good set, right? And it was only him left to go. All the other acts had been on. And so I was like, fucking, I have a good chance here. Because, like,
Yeah.
I could feel a strong set. You know, it's only this. I don't know who this guy is, but he's left.
2 first names.
I was like, yeah, he's from Cork. I'm like, this guy has nothing to offer. Comes up. Comes up.
Again, Peak Richard Pryor comes out.
No, man, he came out and he did a bit about looking like Dougal from Father Ted, and it fucking slid.
Floored.
Do your Dougal face for shame. It's great. It is.
You have to do the hair though.
We see his Dougal.
Ted, will you come on?
I think he came on for a 10-minute set. No speech, just
I walked out in Belfast and I just did this. I had the hair combed over, right? And I was wearing a black shirt as well at the same time. I walked out and I was like, Ted, I don't even believe in organised religion.
So he did that, and the fucking audience are going crazy, and I'm just in the back like, well, I'll see this game in 12 more years again.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then and he's been.
But then you moved here.
I
Start of
mo-
pandemic.
I
You've
moved-
always had like, I'm always curious about this. You've always had like a little bit of property here. Something weird about that.
Yeah, he owns a bit of
you
something.
know me, like I like to keep my hand in all day in the East Belfast side, you know, see what's
Yeah.
going on. No, I moved here. I did 16 years in England.
Prison.
Yeah, I served eight.
The way you say that.
I did 16 years in England. Served
I got some
eight.
dirt on him after the contest and got him locked up.
That's why you haven't seen me around for a while. But my property's matured now and I got a bit of equity.
Arlo Hanlon had you arrested.
Just see any comedians that look like Dougal from Father Ted. No, I was in London. I was in England for 16 years, and then before the pandemic, I bought a house 3 weeks before the pandemic as like a bit of crack, I suppose. Like, I mean, I didn't even view it. I just
Right.
saw it online. I told you that.
That's like a Middle Eastern royal family, like a
I had
Sikh
somebody
move.
go and view it for me,
Right.
and they rang up and said,
That's
"Yeah."
even more Middle
Yeah.
Eastern, to be fair.
I'm not rich, by the way. It was purely I was just busy, and I said I wasn't planning on moving here.
Right.
And I tried to buy a house down in Cork, but because I earn predominantly sterling income, because of Brexit, no bank in the south would lend to people on a foreign income.
Right.
So I wanted to go to Cork because I'd lived in Cork for a year, and I thought, where can I live in Ireland? And I thought, oh, the north.
But was that because you'd done some circuit gigs here and you just liked it?
I was here every month because I was a resident host of the Empire.
Ah.
And I started to really like the city, and I'd spend a bit more time. Now, when I was coming in, I was just flying in city centre, flying out. So I never saw Hollywood or Newton Ards or anything like that kind of thing. So, and I still haven't seen Newton Ards, and I
To
don't
be
want to
fair,
go.
that's okay.
Yeah, so-
Is this your bucket list shit?
Yeah, just before I die.
To see Newton Ards.
Hey, we could do it before the end. We could go now. He could host the episode, and we could be back by the time the episode's over.
I dream of Ballymena, And,
Oh, yeah. We all
That's
do.
a Drake album.
every time I'm around you, you just give me the giggles. I don't know what's wrong with you. So I fucking was over here all the time, and
Said it was the coke. I don't think you heard it.
I
but
did hear it.
yeah,
No,
that's all.
you need to work on your time. And that's
Usually
where
like
you're
an old
not
married
enjoying
couple. Andrea was telling you.
I was saying to Shane, do your Dougal for him.
Do your
Remember?
Dougal.
Show him the face.
You doing a fold in 40 years. Providing the in-house entertainment.
I'm emceeing a bingo hall out in Larne going, do your Dougal, do your Dougal.
Another place you want to see, Lauren.
So I was dating someone here at the time anyway. Long story short, I got this house, and then this pandemic happened, and I thought, oh, how long's that? 6 weeks?
Right.
4 weeks? 7 months later, I'm hemorrhaging cash. So I decided that, like, I'm going to have to move over. So I moved over, and then I fell in love with the place. So I
Nice.
stayed. And I did go back to London for a couple of months when life reopened. And I was in London, and I was like, oh my God, like, I really miss Belfast. And I just really liked the place. So I
Is
just
London like a... So when I first started going over for gigs in London
Yeah.
and seeing it, I got really intimidated by it because it's that big.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no... I remember first time going there, being on a bus, this is true, from like the airport into London, seeing like a row of shops and going, well, this is the city centre. And it was like
Yeah.
a random place near Crawley or something.
Oh, yeah, it's a
And
side street.
I could get no sense of the city itself, and I felt like a wee ant
Yeah.
in like a huge place. But the more and more I go back to it, the more I like it. But I don't know. It seems like a rat race kind of. Seems a bit too fast.
It is, yeah, but you have to learn it. You have to learn how to live in the city. Everything in London takes an hour.
Right.
Everything you want to do is an hour.
Right.
Oh, I need to go Tesco, do a big shop in the car. It's going to take you an hour. Doesn't matter where the Tesco is. The traffic lights, the busyness, every single thing is an hour. And I love big cities. So I was just like 100% totally immersed in it. But the thing about London is that it closes very early at night.
Yeah.
Like midnight, like you kind of have to go home. You know, there's not much you can do there. But you get to a certain point in your life where you go, I've done it.
Yeah.
I love going to London now for 2 or 3 days at a time, and I get my little kick, my little busyness, but get out of it then.
Get the feet up over here.
Get the feet back over here. Do you know what I mean? Ring him.
You haven't spent much time. You
Little just bits and like I'll do like a sort of fly and do a job.
You're a wee
here and
homebird,
there.
aren't you?
Yeah, I love being.
You like travel.
in-house.
You like to go to the States.
I do. I'm going to Switzerland in a few weeks, not for Dignitas, but I am going to Switzerland. But I am actually going to Switzerland.
He's the youngest guy. He's
The youngest guy who-
break records.
Vasectomy and Dignitas.
You got to do the double.
Like you're against all life, aren't you? Like you hate reproducing
my
life
own.
and you hate being alive, Aaron. Like, you know what I mean?
So man, what are you going to? What are you going to Switzerland for?
Conference,
What's the conference about?
hot chocolate, Toblerone. Yeah.
Does this? Do you not think this is mental with this guy, who has started becoming like a conference speaker?
Yeah, he went to Philadelphia to do a keynote speech, and he said, "I have to deliver a keynote." Whoa.
And not on comedy.
Yeah.
Not on performing.
No.
Zero comedy.
On business.
Business teams, leadership, mentality, growing yourselves, growing your mentors, all these sort of
Growing your mentors.
You got to grow those mentors. That's in the kit. I can't give this material away for free.
What time do you get out of bed in the morning?
Oh, 2.
Yeah, the most uninspiring, the most demotivating business talk of all time. I get up at 2 a.m. No,
PM. They want you. It's a reverse thing. And then I go to Miami in January, baby. You don't know this. Miami in January.
This was going to go one of two ways. You were going to do it once and go, didn't like it, or fully lean into it.
Yeah.
I have no doubt, genuinely, that you will become the world's foremost keynote speaker, and it's going to piss me off.
And it's going to be about nothing. You're going to be all phrases.
What's your opening bit?
I think I've told this to Andrew. So if I'm in the States or if I'm not in this country, I'll do a bit about my name.
Right.
Because everywhere I go, people say my name differently. So in America, they say my name like Aaron, and in London, the UK, they say it like Aaron.
Yeah.
And back home, here where I'm from, my family say, "Why are you still living here? You're 33."
Yeah.
Bang.
You feel it?
Yeah.
And then I go, "I'm only joking, my family are dead." And then I don't. I go, "No, I don't. I do actually." And then I go, "It's another joke, don't fire me." And then I get into the inspirational stuff.
Now that's what I want to hear.
Yeah,
the inspirational
How
stuff.
can Aaron Butler inspire me?
Could you? So I'm just about to do like the last leg this week of my tour. About to do the UK shows, but doing the show for a while.
Yeah.
Had a break in between. So could you get me? Do you get me hyped again? Could you get me back up for it?
What I'd say about you, Shane, is about all of us here in the room today. We all tend to focus on the things that are right in front of us at any given moment, the small things, and sometimes that can frustrate us. Sometimes we can get bogged down by the minute details, the emails, the admin, the minutiae. Sometimes we need to take a step back, have a broader perspective, and think about the bigger picture.
Brilliant.
How much you charge for that?
25 grand.
400,000 coming to Switzerland very soon. So yeah, there you go. There's a sample for you.
Have you done speaking that isn't comedy, if that makes sense. I don't even mean hosting events. I mean, like, have you been asked to give a talk, whether it's on comedy or live performance or anything like that?
Like a serious subject.
Even talking about comedy.
Yeah.
I've done it a couple of times, and the nerves I get for that are way bigger than doing a gig.
Yeah, I've done a couple of things where I worked with a lot of kids. They asked me to do like a sort of like a self-confidence, self-esteem thing for young people who wanted to get into the arts, and I was terrified because it was so out of my comfort zone. And I'm like, they don't know anything about me,
and you don't know whether if they put jokes in or not. If the jokes don't work, what do you do?
Yeah, so I turned up. It was in this school in England, and there must have been about 50 kids. I'm no skilled teacher. I'm no trained teacher. And I was like, hello, everyone. How are things? Are you okay? And someone just shouts out, Westlife. And I was like, what the fuck? What are you shouting Westlife at me for? I was like, Westlife, right? I was like, well, because I had an Irish accent. It's Westlife, boys on. I was like, whoa. Anyway, I started doing it, and I split them into groups and all this. And I did these little tricks, where you go like, right, I want you to relax your shoulders now. We're going to walk around in the semicircle.
Oh, God.
But 20 minutes previously, I'd Googled like
what other people did.
So I walked in, and I remember doing a talk to them about like, if you want to get involved in comedy, I don't really know how to help you, but
that's motivating as him. No wonder you guys are friends.
Pretty good.
I was just like,
I was like, the motivators.
I said something like, you got to get out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. You got to be in it to win it. You know what I mean? You got to do all that sort of stuff. I was awful. I didn't get invited back.
Yeah,
because I was just like, oh, and if you want to do comedy, you just really have to, go for it. Anyway, listen, thanks for coming in.
Did you get paid for that?
I did, yeah.
Wow.
You should. Oh, but like sometimes when you say stuff, just go like, he was opening for me on Thursday in Dublin. Oh my God,
man,
mate, this was the best crack.
Here's what happened.
Oh my!
And by the way, keep in mind, I did my whole set without knowing any of this.
Right.
Go ahead.
And let me preface this by saying, always kills.
Always
Thank you
kills.
very much.
Hence
Especially
why
in tour
I've been doing
sport.
a small tour, and he's been coming with me, and it's been brilliant because we know each other, but we've actually got to know each other a bit more, and it's been really good, right? And unfortunately, he won't be doing the next tour. There's a HR disciplinary issue. And there's an investigation. He's currently on garden leave.
Yeah.
So we go to Dublin, right? And I'm driving down and back, and I do the whole thing. I'll come pick him up and all this kind of stuff, right? And I bought him his dinner and all this, right?
Make it sound like I'm so hard done by. I bought him his dinner. I
even let him play his own music on the radio. So we go to Dublin, we get in to do the gig, and so the way the show works is I go on first and do about 10-15, and then Aaron goes on and does 20. So I go on and I bring Aaron on, and obviously being from the north and doing gigs in the south, there's certain, because remember you were doing a gig somewhere, you text me and you said, what is DLA down south? It's social welfare.
That's right.
Right, but you forgot to change one of his jokes for a southern audience.
Yeah, so it was the joke about Jamie Apple Tart, that
right?
one.
Yes,
and
yes.
I talk about Lambert and Butler. They don't have
Lambert and Butler down south. So he goes at his opening gag. He goes, go and get me 20 Lambert and Butler, and if you don't have that, just get me anything else, right? And he comes back with a thing. And
Silence.
now he had done that previously with me. Round of applause. In Dublin. I'm standing on the stairs watching, thinking, oh, because your first gag is so important, especially when you're tour support, because they're not there to see you.
Yeah.
What the silence, mate! And I nearly fell up the stairs laughing, right? And then he stopped, and you retreated. You stepped back, and he went, should we just get Andrew back on? And the audience didn't know what to do. And I was like going, Benson and Hedges! Benson and Hedges! Change the fucking name!
But yeah, so that was an uphill battle,
Hey
Dublin.
man, did you get it back?
He got it back. He got it back very well, though, in fairness to him. You did get it back, though, didn't you?
It was all good, yeah. It finished okay.
And then he did Dundalk the following that, and he was walking around going, Benson Hedges. So it was superb, though. Like,
Dundalk, he had a heckler that fucking. He does like bit of crowd interaction, warm up at the start before I go on. It's really class, and he's having a bit of banter with the crowd, and he starts having banter with this one guy, and the guy you're talking about maybe knowing him or something. And the guy just goes, I read your sister. and you know how good a heckle it was? The audience applauded. The hecklers stood up and took a bow. And the audience applauded even more. And then he was bringing me on. So I took my jacket half off, unbuttoned the trousers a little bit, ran into the stage all dishevelled. It's like, sorry, I'm late there, guys. I was just riding Andrew's sister.
Do you have a sister?
Yeah.
Oh, it makes it so much more disrespectful.
And she was in the audience, wasn't she?
She was sitting next to that guy. It was her husband. No, but Dundalk was class though. We had such crack though, didn't we?
Oh, such a nice little room that.
Yeah, it's so good. Spurs.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
And but just the audience, like I just love the fact that people are coming out again, like to do shows. You know,
Yeah.
I think people don't realize how difficult it is to put a bum in a seat.
Yeah.
You know, leaving a house, planning a house, travel, fucking babysitters. You know, WhatsApp groups, collecting tickets. It's fucking phenomenal. Like so.
Yeah.
But to have him with me for 4 days, man, has been great. And also as well as like since I've been up here in the north, like getting involved in the Northern Irish comedy scene, without a shadow of a doubt, the best scene between these two islands.
Thank you.
And I have.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, you're
I
welcome.
have done London scene, the Manchester scene, but the Northern Irish comedy scene is so healthy.
Explain why.
No, yeah. As I was going to say, as an outsider, you know what I mean by that, as someone who's not from here originally.
Yeah.
But you're part of the scene now. Why do you think that is?
I'll tell you why. I turned up to do a gig one night, and Paddy MacDonald was there.
Show
William-
his tattoo.
Sorry?
Show just cock it.
Yeah, he's always doing that.
Don't
You
say
know,
always.
Not always. But I turned up and he was there with William Thompson, and I interrupted him in a conversation, and this was the conversation. Another comedian was doing a show at the Limelight, and the two of them were having a conversation going, what can we do to help him sell out?
Yeah.
And that other comedian wasn't even in the room.
Yeah.
And they were so supportive. Whereas if you're in London, which is amazing, you're very saturated. It's like if I put a show on the Leicester Square Theatre, I just know a little bit. There's some people like, he's doing that. Do you think he'll sell that?
Yeah.
Whereas over here, it's like, oh, Aaron wants to do Lavery's. Right, what can we do to help Aaron?
You can
And I
physically
can
see
feel
that.
I can feel the supportiveness here. And people who go to comedy think like comedians are all competitive. We're not.
No,
Like I need other comedians. You need other comedians.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we all rise together.
This sounds like such a wanky thing to say, but I think you can be competitive with yourself. if
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean. And like
Yeah.
your
Oh,
last
yeah.
show and that thing, it
Yeah.
wasn't always like that here. I don't think that thing of, you know, you put it on, everyone's like, now it is a case of someone puts on a thing, everyone goes, right, let's get the word out about it, let's make
Yeah.
this a great night. I remember the first time I booked Mandela Hall, 450 seats after doing the black box, and none of us like our age had done, because that was like the venue for the English comedians at Queen's Comedy
Yeah.
Club or someone
Yeah.
you knew. And I remember the amount of conversations at comedy clubs of like people who were like friends of mine being like, I wouldn't do it. And they weren't mocking me for doing it or anything like that. It was just a fear of we shouldn't be doing it. And I felt like that too a wee bit. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Like we should be happier doing the smaller venues. And now there's just a change, and it's people as well just going, let's get behind our own comedy scene.
Yeah.
Because you for someone who plays a load of different scenes, you'll see that isn't always the case. Here, Liverpool, maybe Glasgow
Yeah.
will support their own comedians.
Cork is really rising now as well.
Right,
Just
and that's those are the good scenes,
Yeah.
kind of.
And also as well as the game is so different. Like, I mean, since I started to take social media differently, like, you know, you don't have to, you know, I can put stuff out on TikTok or Instagram now, and people will come and see me. I did a show in Cork recently. People flew from London to watch me in Cork. And that wasn't because I had appeared on all these TV shows. It was because of my Instagram and my
They must have been
TikTok.
pissed off when they realised you had a London show too.
Yeah, and the London show was the following week, but they actually messaged me and said that they were on holiday. That's why they came to Cork, right?
Right.
But I've done Manchester scene, the London scene, and now I'm in sort of based here, but still go to London every 2 weeks to
Yeah.
perform. I always will stay in on the London circuit kind of thing. But here, it's just the warmth of people. And I'd be honest with you, like, I didn't expect it. I thought coming here might be a bit like, there mightn't be a lot of gigs. They mightn't be very supportive. I thought I'd be down in Dublin all the time, you know, and then I even thought I might only stay here for a year and then maybe move back to London permanently, because honest to God, man, I'm actually so happy that the scene has taken me kind of like on board. Things like regularly hosting the Empire, doing
Lavery's, you're hosting Lavery's.
doing
few
Lavery's a
times.
bit now. I've opened for Paddy and stuff. I'm doing my own shows, and like, you know, last night we did like the Black Box at the studio, and we've put on a show in the big room, and it's nearly sold out already for February.
Yeah.
Sold out your live podcast.
Stole out the live
Sunflower.
podcast, first live podcast record, and I was just like, going, it's the Northern Irish people are the reason why I stay here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would have had a perception of the North like a lot of people from down south, through the media. And
What, like
this
it's
place was-
colder, would you say, like, or what? Like,
I don't know. There's nothing really much has happened here, like, you know what I mean, in the past. So I don't really know.
No,
why.
what you mean, like, as a people, we can be like quite short? Or
No,
with-
but I think, like, you know, you just kind of think sometimes, you know, like when I was down in Cork, I was talking to some people. They're like, oh, what the fuck are you doing up there? Like, they're off of the
Right.
Nordies, like, because there's a perception.
But what is that perception? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
curious
like
to know.
it's kind of like I was talking to a couple of people and they were like, "What are you doing living up there?" Because they'd seen the Northern Ireland, whatever you call it, like. And this is another thing I've had to fucking learn how to call this place.
Hey, there's no right answer.
There's no right answer.
It's all wrong.
It's all
There
So
is
all-
there is a
yeah,
right
It's
answer.
multiple choice. and they're all
there is
wrong.
right. It's
the
Ulster.
north.
So so I've had people say, like, "What are you doing up there?" Because they think like it's a bit, you know, it's underdeveloped.
Okay, we're okay.
Do you think
we're
you're
okay.
taking a step down by coming up here?
Well, they just think it's trouble. Like, it's not that it's trouble day to day. They just have a bit. They're much more hassle than what they're worth, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like, no,
yeah,
not saying everybody thinks like that.
Yeah.
I know a load of people down south. They're like, no, we should have the north, the short. This island should be together and united and all that. And what I would have come up here thinking to myself, oh, Jesus, it's a bit wild. Like,
Right.
the place is a bit. They're all a bit on edge. A bit of post-traumatic stress disorder here, like, you know. But when I actually spend time here, and you realise, oh no, this is not what you think it is. This is so friendly.
Yep.
Everyone here gets on amazingly, even irrespective of what you're hearing on the news, because those who shout the loudest get heard the most.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have Twitter, so I can imagine the crap that goes on there
Yeah.
about this place.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it completely changed my perspective, and that's why when I started the podcast Cork of the North, it was a little bit to sort of say to people like, this place is great.
Yeah.
People don't really. I've had family members come and visit me and stay over here for a couple of nights, and they'd never come to Belfast before. They've fallen in love with it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, we didn't realise, like, the North Coast, Portrush,
Yeah.
and they go, you know, down to Newton Arts Peninsula. They're like, this is actually like not what we thought it was, because we're thinking that every Wednesday, Thursday night there's police vans on the side. Actually, it's not like that at all. It's
That's Friday.
That's Friday. That's Sunday afternoon after
Also,
mass.
how much is this guy pushing for the Arts Christmas light switch on this year?
Big time. Arts Peninsula.
Let me pick up all these Arts name drops.
That's what I want, a free council house. That's what I want. But I it's totally changed what I feel, and I feel so welcome. Like, I live in East Belfast. I feel so welcome.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And people are just so kind to me, and all my neighbours and stuff like that. Like, I have great crack with
I
them.
think we're just like grateful that people are like say like actually coming here. You know, like when you hear someone's over for a trip, you know, it's not like, well, what are you doing here? It's more like, oh fuck, cheers for pick. You know, you could go anywhere on a trip. The fact that you've come here, people love that. And I thought I was maybe biased about how welcoming the scene is, and you always see like if someone's doing their first gig, it's amazing how when they walk into the green room, everyone's genuinely interested.
Yeah.
You know, oh, where are you from and what gigs you done before? It's your first gig. Like, oh, here it'll be. It's a great crowd. You know, I didn't know we were one of the only scenes to do that until I find Liverpool definitely like that as well.
Liverpool's
Backstage
great.
at Hot Water. First time I went there, I felt like I was a regular. Like everyone's like, oh, whereabouts back home you from? But some of the clubs in the States, you walk into your green room, and when I say nobody would look at you, I mean nobody would look at you.
I did New York in June. Did gigs in New York.
Did you
in
find
June.
that same?
Mate, so I did a couple of gigs there, walked in, right? I was like, hi, how's it going? Andrew, yeah, you're on 5th.
Yeah.
I'm like, nice one. What do you want me to say before we bring you up?
Yeah.
And I went, just my name.
Yeah.
Right, and the comic before me be like, ladies, we got Aaron Butler now. You may have seen him on Comedy Central, HBO, Netflix, ran for Saturday Night Live. Get it for the mates, geese coming up. It's Aaron, give him some love. It's Aaron Butler. And then I go, what do you want? Just Andrew Ryan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
The king of
this guy
arts.
is Andrew Ryan. I walk out and go, hello there, how are things? How are you getting? I don't even believe in organised religion.
He comes on to support you. What about this Lambert and Butler?
What about this Lavin and Butler? Silence. But the thing is, this is what it's like up here as well. And I think Cork is getting like that. And I think with everything that's been happening in the world recently and cost of living, people are kind of sticking to their own a little bit more, like, and not travelling as much. And one thing I will say about the North, I will say about this is about the comedy scene is that I like how it's moved on from it's the stuff that you may have talked about maybe in the 90s is barely referenced now anymore. And it shows great progression. Now, look, don't get me wrong, I make jokes about living in East Belfast. They're like, why'd you live there? Oh, because I didn't do the correct research. You know, I do all these little gags about it, but I don't actually go into any...
It's not the crux of the show.
It's not the crux. No, it's 2 minutes.
And of course there is also that thing of like, you know, 99% of the sets and material nowadays, you won't hear any mention of the Troubles.
Yeah.
But if someone has a good like line or joke about it,
Go
put
for
it
it.
in, because there's this thing of like, if I post up I'm doing anywhere outside here, like on a tour show, whatever, people will, and they're not even being dicks, but they'll genuinely go, mate, what are you going to talk about when you're over there? Like, they're genuinely concerned, and I'm like, none of my set real. Like, if you're doing a gig in Belfast and something falls in your lap and you're like, this will work here, you do it.
Oh,
but
it's
like,
an open goal.
But you can't focus on that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
but people
yeah.
are genuinely like, just I'm giving you a heads up. I see you in fucking Boston, they won't know where Castle Court is. just I'm just letting you know, mate.
You're like going,
Aaron's like, you'll be fine. Gives out a pamphlet before every gig. People are,
like I find that you can just up here. It's becoming so much more progressive, and it's not what people think it is. Like,
Yeah.
what the media. This place has so much untapped potential. This place could be fucking Las Vegas. Could be Switzerland. It could be a tax void. It could be like I think the North should forget about being part of the South and forget about being part of the UK and just fucking Macedonia.
Just be the North.
Just not Macedonia, but just cut it up.
we could be Vegas, Switzerland, Macedonia.
That should be the title of the podcast.
Andrew, I don't want you working for the tourist board.
No. Well, for ours, maybe.
But like it could be. This place could be something like
I know.
North Korea. You know, like it could be something.
Do you think we just go fully independent?
tax free? Haven.
Oh, imagine.
Get the oligarchs in. Get that money. Get that tax free money in.
Yes, we can be chic.
Casinos, lions, tigers.
Yes, Barry's, Portrush.
Do you know what I mean? Lions, tigers, like shakes,
Yeah.
Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
Like
it.
walking around with polar bears on a lead.
Yeah, nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the corner, a trad band. Oh, Jamie Mickey came to. And then you're in the back and I'm going, I'm in a butter.
So what do we call it? Like you were saying,
I don't know what you call
Northern
it.
Ireland, North of Ireland,
A new country.
No, just call it like just call it
Toddville.
Toddville.
Toddville. The island formerly known as Northern Ireland.
I don't know what would you call the new North, but I'd call it something.
The New North.
The new North.
The New North.
The new,
New
North.
North. The New North.
The
That
new
sounds like New North. Like New North.
It
New
does,
North.
yeah.
But maybe that's the way you say new. You say new.
No, I'm not William.
Yeah.
New.
No. But you say yes. New.
Yeah.
New North.
New
The
North.
new North, yeah. Because when I live here, you have a nickname for the Southerners, don't you?
Gypsies. No, I
Because
don't.
someone said to me that.
Sorry.
Beep it.
yeah. Beep it. Yeah, no, it's just nice people is what I call them.
I got so paranoid when you said that. I was like, what are you going to say? What I don't call it. What
Dude,
what-
Southerners.
No, but you have a name for the Southerners because somebody came up to me and they said to me, and I'll tell you what happened to this.
Free Staters.
Free Staters. But we never used that down south. So when someone said to
I
me,
think that's quite old school.
yeah, someone said to me, you're a Free Stater, and I was like, you know what? I said, I'm from Cork.
Yeah.
What are you on about? I know about the Irish Free State. And then he said, Mexican Free Stater. I said, how the fuck's Mexican
I think
brought
people
in?
would have said more going down to the Free State generations before. I'm going down to the Free State. I don't think it was ever used as a
Slur.
slur.
Oh, I don't think it's a slur,
Like
it's just
Nordy
a-
as well. Like the weird
We
thing
would say
is,
Nordy.
Nobody here says that.
No.
Even though you wouldn't say it about yourself. To me, I say I don't like the word. I don't mean I think it's not 1% offensive because it's
No, I don't mind.
But I don't like the sound. You know when you just don't like the sound of a word.
Yeah.
And like Nord.
It's the way they say it.
Nah.
Nordy.
Nord.
Those
It's just,
Nordies.
it's just a word. Like what's another word I don't like?
Take your time.
Brainchild. That's his brainchild. Ew.
Brainchild. What the fuck?
Just
I
a
know.
wee baby.
That's Aaron Butler's brainchild.
Yeah.
I don't like. There's
The
just
baby
words I
idea.
don't
He's
like.
never having a child. So you know, he's had a
The only child he's having.
He's only having a child. He's a brainchild.
Dude, it's coming
You're
from my
having nothing.
So what's Cork like? I have done one gig in Cork.
Yeah, it was a disaster, was it? Or the travel was a disaster?
The travel. Here's how it went.
Wherever you tell.
So I get booked for it was like €200. I'm going to Cork. Everyone goes, "Where are you staying?" I said, "No. Coming back same night." Everyone's like, "Mate, don't do that. Legitimately, do not do that. It's a 5.5 hour drive or whatever." I said, "Nah. I'm gonna up and down and be smooth sailing."
Up and down.
Get there. Get near Kildare village, but a mile away from Kildare village. Need a piss
I'm
because I've
glad
been
you're telling
drinking tea
this.
the whole way down.
Tea.
Right. Well, the whole way down, flat out, down it, no party shooting it, and
Doing shots.
yeah, and I know I'll break up the journey. I'll go to Kildare village, just for like a dander round, stretch of legs. But we hit roadworks, and it's motorway. Like there's no, and I'm like, I could do a piss. And and we're not moving at all. Been there for like half an hour, and then I see that there's a ladle. So I go, I'll peel off. It's out of my way, but I'll peel off, and I go towards the ladle, and I walk in. I go up. Is it customer toilets? And the one's like, no. And I was like, could I go, pee? Because I need to pee. She's like, no. And I went, do you have staff toilets? She went, yes. I was like, could I? She's like, fuck off, you naughty. She didn't say that. She went. She was like, no, you can't. So I was like, shit, what I'm going to do, I'll try and make Kildare Village. I get back into the car, realise I'm not going to make it anywhere.
There's no bushes or anything there, no?
Well, I realised that halfway through doing what I was doing. I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll go into the corner of the car park, makes it way shadier, and I'll take my jeans and my boxers down, and add a large Starbucks cup. So what I'll do is, I'll just go for a piss here. Now, I didn't anticipate the volume of piss that would be passed
that he could hold.
So I was going, and I was like, what I'll do is I'll piss in this, open the door, fire it out.
It was event day, you needed a grande.
I filled it. And then I was like, here's what I'll do, I'll just stop the flow for a little second, open the door, throw the cup out, get back on it.
It's how his brain works, by the way.
I opened the door and was then going again. And it was like a child trying to catch a hose. It was all over the place, and I just essentially, and then someone came out from bushes that had been having a piss, and I then saw them, was like, put my piss tea in the cup holder, put my jeans and boxers back on, still pissing, mate, door as long as piss, and just started to drive. Had to go to Kildare Village and buy, and at this time I'm like, shit, this journey's taking longer than I thought. Had to go to Kildare Village, buy boxers, jeans, and while I was there, saw a pair of shoes I liked, and was like, I get them too.
€300 we spent.
I was like, I'll buy the cheapest jeans in the place. They were like €112.
Wow.
Had to buy a multi-pack of boxers. Got down to the gig. I was like, well, that was a rocky start. Ate shit at the gig because I started trying to tell that story, and then realised that it was just like a tragic, sad tale. I had no punchline for it, and then had to just drive home, smelling the piss from the jeans in the back, wearing these new jeans. Fuck, I'll be honest, it's these jeans.
Are they the jeans?
Wow.
Are they diesel? Oh, diesel.
Diesel
Jeans.
Wow.
These jeans.
Amazing.
And that's my experience. And then got home at like 5 a.m. Went to McDonald's on the way back, and
Did you use the toilets?
you know, and just hate it, and haven't been back. I genuinely haven't been back to Cork since.
You've never been back to Cork since that?
No. I hold a grudge.
Do you hold a grudge against Cork? Cork is a great spot, man.
No,
I'm sad that is your experience.
Yeah.
That you had to go to Kildare Village, and you lost money on the gig.
Oh yeah.
You lost dignity and money.
He's still paying it back.
You're still paying it back.
That's how much it
Cork
cost
is
him.
great crack, man.
Now, what liken it to another city, in terms of the feeling, the environment?
New York. No. Dundalk.
The big pair. the
Newton Ards.
Ards.
Do you know what? How can I say? It's very tricky because.
Is it like a mini Dublin or anything like that?
Fucking.
He'd hate that.
He hates
that's an
Dublin.
insult.
I don't hate. I love leaving Dublin.
Right. That then means an
hating
insult.
No, I like doing gigs there, and I like popping in there.
Right.
But there's nothing there.
Right.
Like there's a north, there's a south, there's a west. There's no east. Because that's the river. It's the water.
That sounds like the last conspiracy theory. Like we've had them all
Yeah.
over COVID. It's just some guy being like, "You ever notice there's no east? There's no, where are they hiding it? What's happening there?"
It's the government, mate. The government have taken it off. They've moved it.
Yeah.
Up to the new north.
David Copperfield.
We'll take it.
No.
Absorbing land.
Yeah, poppers are legal.
They're illegal now. in that case, bring me straight to jail. I'll turn myself in. Sorry, officer. Do you want some in the way?
Only guy showing up to jail with a pillow under his arm.
And then I kept
Do I get any vitamins?
pajamas. A mini DVD player do you used to get?
Trying to break in.
Just want to see my dad.
Climbing a rope like the window. They're climbing down. I'm climbing up it. Someone passing me. All right. What's your bet again? Is that
My man's doing a reverse Shawshank.
Oh God.
What's the opposite of redemption?
I don't know.
I genuinely was thinking that. What is the opposite of
No,
redemption?
I kind of know Cork, or maybe I don't, from Young Offenders. I think Young Offenders
Yeah.
brilliant. So you see a little bit of the
My
city.
nephews are in that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were in the Christmas special. Yeah.
Oh nice.
My brother was in it as well. He played a doctor.
Right.
Yeah, non-speaking part. But my nephews were kind of, their voices were heard a little bit. But I auditioned for it. Yeah. Well, I auditioned for it. I sent in the casting tape. You know.
For one of the boys. Young
Never
boys.
heard to this. Well, no, but my best mate is Shane Casey, the Billy Murphy.
Oh yes, that's
So
right.
he's,
He's
my
brilliant.
He's
isn't
my
it?
best mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was groomsman at his wedding. But that show was brilliant for Cork. You know, but like Derry Girls been really good.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
For up here, like, and it's also
He's pitching the Ards Angels to BBC NI right now.
tonight in Nards. East, west, north, but no south come together. Where is East Ards?
It's in the new north.
It's in the new north.
So
No holds barred community. Pet lions. Free vaccines. Vasectomies on tap. Aaron Butler, Lord Mayor of Hollywood.
the Pauper's
Fuck
Prince.
Day one, just walking around like fucking with a Hurley, just fucking.
See, if we
shop.
do the New North, Hollywood's exempt. It's independent within the independent
It's
state.
a sovereign state.
It's a sovereign
Is it
state.
Andorra? Is
We're
it
the
like
we're the Vatican City, mate. We're the
without the
Vatican City.
religion?
Yep. Yep.
Isn't that the Vatican City one of the richest
And I'm
countries
the
in the
Pope.
world? Isn't it per
No
capita?
taxes.
It's one of the richest
I'm
countries
sure.
in the world, isn't it?
No taxes.
Sure.
Per square, like per capita, like.
We should make Cork in the North a religion, the podcast, and then when you have to pay tax on anything.
Do we? Do you have to make it as a religion? Make it as a charity.
He's like, do you have to pay tax now?
Well, if you make it
What's
earning
tax?
from something.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's
I see this guy. This guy knows.
Yeah, Cork is a great spot, man. I'm sad that you've never been down like. For
No,
a holiday
I'm going to
with your
do
wife
it
or
next
anything?
year on tour.
Right, what are you going to do, like the Everyman, or
I don't know.
you don't know? Well, you need.
There are plans afoot, but I will
Plans
run it by
afoot.
you and you can tell me.
Yeah, you let me know. I know some great venues for you. You can go
Yep.
into. You know what I mean?
Now, what do we do? Say me and Aaron decided we'd like to be gentlemen of leisure and take a weekend in Cork.
Right.
Head down to the Free State and go to Cork.
Well, so the city centre is great, but it's like any other city centre.
Right.
You know, like it's the same kind of stuff. I'd say head a little bit out to West Cork, go down to maybe Kinsale, Clonakilty, Skibbereen, Glandore, Scone.
I
you
only know
naming
the-
Game of Thrones characters?
I only know these places from Christy Moore songs.
Yeah, Christy Moore songs. Yeah. Do you know what? It's very tricky because when I go to Cork, I don't stay in hotels because I just stay at home.
Right, yeah.
So like it's like I don't know what's the best hotel.
Is there
in
Nando's?
Cork. Yes, and there's Wi-Fi as well, Shane. There's
brilliant.
Wi-Fi, there's roads, there's
I'm in.
toilets.
I'm in.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
There's
Nando's
shopping.
came first, but
Yeah.
I'm gone off Nando's, you know. I'm done with it.
You're done with
Huh?
it?
I'm done with Nando's.
Why?
I've moved past it.
You're okay. You're maturing.
I am done with Nando's.
Your
trying to do
palate's
my
mature.
remember my breathing
It's all right.
techniques.
Hey,
I
you'll
honest to
never
God,
be back
the
on
last
here
three
again.
times I've been to Nando's,
You're just not having the right thing.
disappointing.
You're just not having the right
Just
thing.
not having the right thing. Or you're going to a bad one somewhere. There's no such thing as a bad one.
I went to
somewhere.
one in Basingstoke.
That's
Yeah,
that
that's
was the
where you went
issue.
wrong.
That's
Yeah.
where you went wrong.
That's what we talked
I
about.
think-
The Basin Soak Nando's.
We've been trying to reform.
Prince
for
Andrews
years.
was in that one as well, wasn't he? That's
Was
what
he?
These
was
Pizza
in it.
Express.
No, it's
I'm
Pizza-
distancing him from Nando's.
That's true. Yeah.
Because that needs to be done.
He is.
How could you defend and distance yourself from Prince
No, I'm only
Andrew?
defending Nando's.
Yeah.
He's a friggin'.
Give Prince Andrew some respect here, okay?
Can I just be? I was doing Leicester Square Theatre in London last year and got the show filmed. Had a clip out of it where I'm talking about Prince Andrew. I never ever do this, but just in advance of me posting it, sent it to my agent. I never do. I just put a clip out, and I sent it to him. Don't know what was telling me inside to do it, and I went, "Hey Matthew, you think this is all good?" And he replied and was like, "I wouldn't." And I said, "Why not?" And he was like, "Just your career." I went, "All right." And then I rewatched it and went, why would I ever have put that up?
Oh wow.
Why would I have ever? Because it'd be so out of character. Imagine, like, if I get cancelled for saying some mad shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the last person people think would say something really controversial. Wild.
That was so off brand for you. If
Yeah,
you did
I got
that.
so carried away and get it. I'm like, you know, like on the last day of term, everyone signed your shirt and you're just running about like anything's possible. That was me. That on
You're
stage.
just going around chugging out poppers and handcuffing people to radiators, like. But yeah, like it's tricky over there.
Yeah.
Like with stuff like the Queen and the royal family and all that. Like obviously I wouldn't do anything like that anyway. You know, I did one thing about the Queen, which was, I said, oh, obviously a great woman, but one thing I will say is like, you know, when she passed away, what impressed me is the operation that went into her passing. You know, like straight away everything was in place. For like the great bit of social engineering in terms of events and organising.
Plenty of prep time.
Oh, plenty. But so I was kind of like doing about that. I said, if that happened in Ireland now, so then I moved the story back to Ireland. So you kind of you start with them and you
so
bring it back.
People be ringing around trying to get a
no, I said in Ireland,
bar
I said I'd be like in Ireland it's like just like a stag do, and it's like 3 days.
Right.
You know, you meet up, you haven't seen people, you drink. You know, by the end of the trade, somebody's missing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like you do so you kind of like you can mention it, but you don't. That's not the target of the joke.
Yeah.
But if it's relevant to the news, so they can be a little bit sensitive about certain things. Like if you were doing Brexit stuff over there now, man, there's like we're done with it, man. Like they're done with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like even COVID stuff now, it's like we're done.
Oh well.
The audience are just like, come on.
There's
not sick of this crap. Like.
There's nothing worse when you see comedy now and someone's still doing a code.
He's still doing mad
I know a
cow
guy,
disease
mate. I did a
I've
gig.
got simian flu stuff that is really.
I did a gig with a guy who had David Beckham and Rebecca Lou's material.
Oh shit!
Wow.
2003.
This guy's been cryogenically frozen.
He goes. You know when David Beckham was with Rebecca Lou's, we were like, mate, what year is this? And then he was talking about Victoria Beckham's single job, like singing career. So she hasn't sang for 20 years.
Wow.
But still, Out of Your Mind holds up.
The material.
No, the song Out of Your Mind featuring Dame Bowers.
no.
That does hold up.
Gonna make this really easy. I'm not out of my mind. Gonna show you I'm not crazy.
You're wasting my time.
I'm not wasting your time.
Yep.
You're out of your mind.
The original Bad Boys of
your
music
mind.
right here.
True Steppers, you're out of mind. Dame Bowers, you're out of your mind. That went Patch Up Boys.
That was really good. That was really good. 2003.
You don't remember this?
No, I was busy socialising. Because you have a fucking life.
But you were at an age where you would be. We were 5 when that came out.
Yeah, so it's ingrained in our...
He's just like, no way, man.
True Steppers featuring Victoria Beckham and Dame Bowers.
Still
Dane Bowers.
Yeah,
Was he
yeah.
in Blue?
He was in another level, mate. Blue was Anthony Costa, Simon Webb, Duncan James and Lee Ryan.
You know, you look like someone that has had boy band background but came out of it because there was an issue with the record label.
I look like someone who was on standby to join and then just never made
the
it. I was in the first lineup. I was in the first lineup, and then they I know a guy who was in the first lineup of One Direction at X Factor auditions, and they replaced him with Niall Horan at the last minute.
Wow. You look
He's
like
not bitter
you're the kind of guy that if you walked out to X Factor, I'd be like, right, there's going to be a story about his granny here as well at the same time, you know.
Cool,
I've had a really tough
background.
year and I've always wanted to do this. I goes, well, it's been on for 12 years. You've only wanted to do it in the last 12 months, haven't you? Because if you always wanted to do it, you would have done it 12 years ago.
And I go, everything's been leading up to this, and if I don't take my shot, and then they're like, this is Shane's 4th audition. And I'm like, this is it. And I come back with a totally different style.
What did you get better? Because I went on Aaron Butler's motivational course. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I just get out of bed at 4 a.m. in the morning now, and I just go for it. You know what I mean? You were better than your head.
Aaron Butler's motivational course live from jail.
Aaron, do you think you would get through, because you like to sing, do you think you would get through first to X Factor audition?
I think I could make it through the preliminary stages, yeah.
Okay.
But then I lose out when it gets into the later
camp?
stages of the comp. I don't know if I make it.
You're 50-50 on boot camp?
50-50 on boot camp.
Spunk your loads
I know,
selections.
if I have a good personality that year, I make it to boot camp.
That year?
Yeah, because changes. The every day's a new day. Yes.
I got a phone call from Britain's Got Talent.
So did I.
3 years in a row they've rang me.
So I got one as well. I got one, and they goes, "We'll not even. You'll just come audition right in front of Simon," because they were filming at the Opera House, and they were dying to get an impressionist, and I had put an impressions video out at the time, and they were like, "Please come on," and I thought, absolutely not, because.
But would you not have done it and then not gone, like, just for the experience of it? Because if you're a stand-up and you audition in front of Simon Cowell, that's material, maybe.
Yeah.
So I remember you were doing the audition videos.
Yeah.
So who was Ramsey your number one?
Obama was a big one. Ramsey was one.
Obama.
Give us Obama.
I'm
going to put
Obama.
Obama.
Hold on. Barack Obama. My wife Michelle. My daughter Sasha Malia. Yes, we can. Thank you. That's it. That's Obama.
very good.
That's not
man.
bad.
Great.
I could work on to get better, but
Ramsey?
it used to be. Hey, big boy, come on, fuck off, yeah. Hey, what are you doing, big boy? Come no, for fuck's sake. Thanks. That's Ramsey.
Okay, give us one more. Who else you got?
I got Stewie from Family Guy. Brian. Hey there, There's Andrew right here. Andrew, where's Lewis? Lewis.
Okay.
There you go. There's Stewie.
We got one more.
Trying to think. Who's
Donald
in.
Trump, you do him, don't you?
Did you Trump?
Really big fan. Donald. I'm back on Twitter. Love Twitter.
Is he back on Twitter?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, they had a poll, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I used to
That's
do.
what it
I
was
did
like
Bill
back.
Clinton in my Find Me the Funny audition.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton. This is my wife, Hillary. My auditions for presidents are just introducing their wives. That's all. Yeah.
We found the code.
Yeah, but yeah. So I used to do. If I could if impressions are one of those things that people devote their entire career just to working on an impression and they tour with it or whatever.
Yeah, I hate it when people you get people just do the same one. They just get known for one and they keep doing that.
Yeah.
In a West End town, a down and wild. Now, Andrew, have you ever auditioned for any reality show, talent
Never.
competition, anything like
I
that?
got a phone call from Come Dine With Me.
Right.
They rang me and said, "Do you want to do Come Dine With Me?" I said, "I live in a 1-bedroom flat." I
That
said, "I
would've
don't
been
even
great.
cook." Like,
Right.
That would
and
have
I
been
goes, "Oh,
great.
but it'd be so exciting." And I was like, "I don't think you understand. I
Yeah.
don't even have cutlery.
Right, yeah.
Like, there's no way. This is fucking.
That would have made great TV.
Like, put me in someone else's house.
Yes.
Like, and I'd do it.
That's
Someone
not the way
probably
it
do
works.
that.
I don't even have. I said I live on my own. I have 2 knives and 2 forks and 2 spoons. Why would I need more than that? No
I'm
one
actually
comes
trying not
round
to
to my
cry.
house. I've no way. I do not know.
Saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. We have cutlery downstairs. You want to take some with you?
No, but like it's like I don't like people in my house. So
Oh, okay.
Psycho.
like,
Really, you don't?
You've been in my house, yeah.
And he didn't like it.
What do
Yeah,
you not
but I
like
have been.
about? Do you not like people making mess, not knowing? Do you have a particular way you like to do things?
No, I'm very OCD about certain aspects of my life that
Right.
I have to be very controlled about.
What's a number one thing that's like an everyday thing people could easily do if they come into your house that could really fucking set you off? Andrew, relax.
Hey, it's all good, man. You'll be all right. I'm not going today. Don't worry.
It's just the whole being there, you know.
Oh,
No, just existing in the realms of the earth.
these people have the audacity to come in your house and breathe.
And it's the kind of like the disrespect to the sofas and stuff, like where it's like, you know, I don't know what it's-
Disrespect at the sofa. Me and
disrespecting my sofa.
like my house is
Andrew.
quite quirky. Like my house is painted black. Like my sitting room's painted like this, right?
Oh god.
But I've like orange sofas and stuff
Sex
like that,
dungeon.
just so I can fit into the community.
Total dungeon.
you're changing the radiator. Like, it's like
The sofa stretches you out.
But he's got the key in his pocket.
he put himself there. Come on, Andrew, Tommy, take me up the yards.
What? I'm not. Take me up the arts. See this guy? Fucking get him to the aquarium immediately.
Do you know what? Do you know what it is? I find my house is a bit of a sanctuary, like, and it's
Yeah, for darkness.
no, it's calmness.
Yeah.
And I like my own company a lot. So
Right.
don't get me wrong, I don't mind people popping in and stuff like that, but there's also a little bit of you about you go like, you've stayed now a good half an hour now, so
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
to go. Like,
Yeah.
people not taking the shoes off when they go upstairs, even though I'll tell them.
Oh, so it's a downstairs, upstairs. You're fine walking in with shoes on, but if you're going upstairs, shoes
Yeah,
off.
oh, it's carpet. Yeah, it's a lovely carpet. So like,
Getcha.
no, it's not that. It's just like because my house is quite quirky. You either like it or you kind of don't. And like, it just doesn't really bother me whether people come in or not. But it's just I don't have a lot of visitors because I don't have too many friends up here.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So,
I just picture me calling in, having a cup of tea in your house, and you're like, man, it's all good, and you're just bleeding from your nose.
I've got these emergency alarms. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't mind it. It's just I don't have a lot of people over, so I'm also get a bit anxious because one thing I have in my house, I won't allow alcohol in my house. Do you
And
know what
how
I mean?
did you guys become? It's weird. You guys hit it off and became friends.
Man, I don't know. I have no idea.
Lives by himself.
Yeah.
No alcohol in his
He
house.
lives in his house, not married, live by himself, not married, both in comedy. We're two of us. Just remember, he's no threat to me, and I'm no threat to him. Like, I went to pick him up at his house, and I didn't even know which house he came out of. I was just parked in the road. I still don't know which one he's in because he's like, "This is my road." Like, where the fuck is he coming from? It's like he lives on a road, but no one knows which one.
I am in House Shield. I just gave you a fake location. I don't even live there. I
Yeah.
just stand her down the street and pretended.
No,
Now, Would you find it difficult to live full time with someone?
Yeah, I have.
You would too, right?
Yeah,
I have.
yeah.
I've lived with 2 girls in the past. Very difficult. Very difficult.
Right.
And it's I don't know what it is. It's just that maybe I get a lot of fulfillment in my life anyway through work and golf and stuff. I play a bit of golf and stuff. So, mad said.
You're filling holes anyway, bro.
I don't know why I said that, but
Someone's like, Andrew, I just love to take our relationship to the next level. And you're like, but I like golf. I enjoy golf, so that won't work.
yeah. So I get my fulfillment from those things, right?
Yeah.
And I just sexually. I am not saying the sentences that I want to say correctly.
Andrew, you're in the bunker. Boy,
I'm having a fucking nightmare on this podcast with my structure of words. English isn't my first language, you know.
Yeah.
But I just get to the point in my life where I go, I don't see the point.
But surely if we're having this conversation in 10 years, surely you guys just move in together.
Oh, we'll eventually be like
we'll
Thelma and
eventually.
Louise.
You think so?
We'll end up in a
You don't want to live with
together.
anyone.
No, probably not.
No.
We'll end up in a
No,
fold together.
we'll get like 2 houses on a plot of land, and he'll be in one,
the new
and I'll
north?
be in the other, in the new north, and he'll be in one, and we'll be a bit of a communal garden.
Right.
And that's the only time
That's
we'll
the only
ever
time we'll see each other,
socialise
like-
each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Which, like we'll have separate Wi-Fi and everything. Like.
Right. Okay.
I thought you were saying separate wife. I was like, I hope so. Hope not.
Yeah. So we're probably going to be 60 and still meeting up for coffee. Go, do your Dougal. Do your Dougal.
Yeah, doing a live podcast.
Doing a live
in the
podcast.
fold.
So what's wrong today?
But he's only there in hologram. 'Cause he's giving a fucking talk to NASA,
yeah, like
trying to motivate the crew of the International Space
My
Station.
brain's in the metaverse at this point. I'm gone.
Yeah.
My physical form's out of here.
You know the way you're speaking to a lot of businesses giving keynotes?
All the
Let me
time.
ask you a question.
All the time. Go ahead, hit me. What do you want to know?
Have you ever had a job, like an actual...
Never.
I don't know what he does.
No. I don't mean working for yourself. You've been doing that for
No,
years.
I know
but-
that, but a proper as in like you go into a shop or something or go to a call centre
Yeah.
or whatever. Never.
So what do you do for, like, when you're like 16, 17, you never had a job?
Nope. We had EMA bonus.
Oh man, I was don't think I wasn't pocketing 30 quid a week from EMA
I'm
and
well
also
aware.
working.
I'm well
But you're allowed.
I
You were
wasn't
like,
also working, but I had nothing to spend the money on.
right.
You're 16, 17. You don't drink. You don't do anything
Sweeties, mate.
else. You can't buy 30 quid of sweeties a week.
You can.
You fucking not have a tooth in your head. No,
Right.
you can't be at that. Especially back then. Them days, you could have got fucking loads for 30 quid. You know.
Do you know what I was spending a lot of money on about 16? Sweatbands.
Oh yeah.
Remember them?
No,
Remember
do you remember
them?
the anti-bullying ones?
Quarter of
and
the
all
way
that
up.
kind of stuff?
No, I mean like the material, like tennis players would wear.
Oh right.
Remember they were big in?
Slazenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
All that kind of
you
stuff.
put it on and then you go like that, just about there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basketball players, I think that's where the trend came from. And then
Yeah.
people like me were walking about in Fila wristbands, just like,
Yeah. Let's bring it back.
heading the Odyssey Bowl.
So you've never done like a proper? Have you ever had like a P45?
No.
What do you mean?
You know when you leave a job, you get your P45.
Oh, I've worked since I was like 15.
Nope.
You've had like pay slip.
Yeah, he's never
You never had a pay slip.
he's never had a boss in his life.
Do you pay into a pension?
I have my own one. Yeah.
Private one, yeah.
Uh,
I've worked all my life, man, in different jobs.
Yeah.
you
I was
look
the younger-
traumatized. you look like you never want to see me again.
He's working a mine in Chile.
What are you on about, mate?
Yeah.
You've never had a job.
Not
I loved working at so I was dishwasher from when I was about 15. I loved it and did a bit of summer job at a magazine, just doing like basic admin stuff. And see, getting like, you weren't getting paid much, but see, like just getting a wee bit of money.
Yeah.
I remember when I started working in that magazine and then doing a bit of work experience, I was going on a summer holiday and I saved up for an iPod, first generation iPod.
Oh, the
And
big
when
chunky
I got
ones.
it, in fact, maybe it was the one after that because I think the U2 album came
with it.
preloaded on it.
That it did. What a marketing.
Remember?
Yep, I do.
So it was black and it was slightly slimmer, so it wasn't first generation and it was second.
Yeah.
And I remember having like 45 songs on it and I was like, it's never getting better than this.
It's too much music. I'm never going to get through all this.
My God.
Look how far we've come now. Like,
Yeah.
I know. You get angry when you don't have your music just immediate.
do you know one job that I did? I used to be a private investigator.
Oh, wow.
No one ever.
Shut up.
It's a true story.
What do
yeah.
you mean?
Yeah?
When I was 19 years of age, I was a private investigator.
19?
For who?
So I used to do surveillance on people who had suspected fraudulent insurance claims.
At 19?
So you're working for like
I was
the
working
housing
for a company.
executive.
I worked for an investigations company in Cork,
Right.
and my job.
So what do you do? So I'm I'm not paying.
You're right.
tax.
You've had a car crash, right?
Yeah.
And you're claiming 100 grand for whiplash.
Sorry, I can't help.
He's a big actor. See this?
So you had a car crash. Pretend you had a car crash,
Yeah.
right? You're claiming 100 grand whiplash.
Yeah.
Right?
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It's just...
No, this is the chair. I'm improvising sitting on. Look, improv. I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I've had a car crash.
Right, you claim
Claiming
100 grand, right? A part of your claim, so you have to crash on, say, the 1st of July, but it could take 2 years for your claim to come true.
Yeah.
But in your claim, you say, like, I can
barely walk.
barely walk, and
I'm
my
having
life has changed.
erectile dysfunction.
I've erectile dysfunction.
I may need to call him.
But I'm depressed. I have no quality of life
Headaches.
because of this car crash.
Headaches.
So I would
Hay
go
fever.
out and check to see, are you saying what you say, John? I've had people say they can't walk, and I've caught them playing five-a-side. I caught a guy who was claiming 120.
No. I think we've all thought about doing this kind of job. You see movies when you're a kid.
It's not what you
seeing
think it
someone
is.
undercover. So I'm picturing you,
No.
thick brimmed hat,
Yes.
long trench coat, just in the shadows.
Mate,
Yes.
wearing exactly what you would wear there.
Oh,
I used to do pubs as well. So say if you went to a pub,
So would you just be sitting there with a pint of big newspaper, but the eyes are cut out?
and a pipe going, you know? No, like, so the way it works is
I
that
always
like,
wondered how you'd suck a cock.
you should have just asked me.
Jesus Christ.
That's terrifying. You're saying, but you don't want people at your house. Hey, they don't want to go to yours.
oh my god, I'm never coming back. I don't know what the fuck that was.
That's like a goldfish trying to breathe.
So,
Oh my god.
so you wouldn't really even be in the shadows. You'd just be like dandering in.
I'll give you an example of a day, right?
Yep.
Shane Todd's had a car crash, so his address is 27 whatever. So we would turn up at about 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and say there's a car on the drive. You take the reg. You say, all right, we think that's Shane's car. We don't know what car. Now you're probably in bed because you know it's 5 in the morning. So we would park up and wait. So you check the estate. You say, right, what's the best way for us to see what you're up to without you seeing us?
You're in a parked car.
You're just in a normal Ford Fiesta at the time,
Right.
and we would have cameras. Now we wouldn't have like we have cameras today. This was 2003.
You're in the long lens.
Minoltas, like Paps. Can I just say before I continue, this was the worst job I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
It's a
Right.
horrible job,
Right.
and I was quite naive and I was quite young. We've all done stuff like that. So next thing, the light would go on in your house, say 7:30, 8 o'clock. You're thinking, oh, you're probably getting the kids ready or whatever you're doing, and you could be, say, dropping the kids to school. We'd say, oh, he's got 2 kids, right? So they have to go to nursery or school. So there's obviously going to be leaving the house around 8. So what we would do then is we'd probably park outside the estate because we'd know the car. So there's no need to go into the estate. So as soon as we see the car, we just follow it, tail it. And they'd pull up at the local creche or whatever. And if you're in the back and you're lifting the kids up and you drop the kids off and then you head down the shops, you might go to Tesco's and do a food shop, go about your normal day. We wouldn't be like right next to you. You know, if you're loading stuff into the car, we'd take a few pictures of you using your arms and stuff like that. Because if you're saying you can't lift anything.
Yeah.
We caught a guy, he said he couldn't walk. We went to his house and we caught him on the roof lifting a bat.
Why did they have a problem with them infestation?
No, he was doing that. He was putting an extension on in the house, and
So
he
I
was
was
like
holding
moving
the
front.
He said bath.
I
Did you
know.
say bath?
I know.
Bat.
I know.
Sorry. No, because even I was like, did he say
Oh,
bath?
so THs, yeah.
Yeah.
But would you get...
Was it a thrill? Sorry, by the way. Was it a thrill when you caught someone?
No, but I got caught twice myself. The police, the special branch came to my house and surrounded the house. A woman, so I was doing surveillance on a woman in Cork. She was a school teacher, and I turned up to her house about 6:30. And she was in a very, very severe... Now, can I just say this? Not every person that we investigated was lying.
Right, yeah.
You know when your car insurance premium goes up because
Yeah.
there's people are paying out on fraud. We're just checking. We don't interact with you. We're just making sure that what you're saying is legit.
Right.
It's just a duty of care. I was following her and it was rush hour traffic, and she went through an amber light, and I fucking went through as well because I didn't want to lose her because I didn't know where she was going, and she was claiming for like whiplash, and I nearly went into the back of her, right? But I didn't, so I nearly fucking she was claiming.
I'll make
for
sure she
whiplash.
does. I will.
I just mean, like, you know what I mean? But she clocked me because what happens is your solicitor will say to you, Shane, you've put a claim in. just be wide. Now they might come and check to see if you're saying you can't play 5-a-side. So just be careful. But it could take 2 years for your claim to come true. So we would turn up any day within the 2 years.
Oh, fuck.
So you never know.
Let me ask you this. Would you get a bonus
No.
if you caught someone out? Right.
No, we were on no money. We would do it. I wasn't working for an insurance company. I was working for an investigations company.
Yeah. Would people ever catch you?
Yeah, I
Would
got
someone
caught.
be
Yeah.
like,
I got
know
caught.
where
Yeah,
you're at?
I got caught. Yeah.
Wow.
And also, some of them are well onto it. Like, these are experienced claimers.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people know what they're claiming. Like, so you'd have people out there whose job they just go around claiming.
Fuck.
Like, I remember I parked up at an estate at like 7:05, 7:10. 2 neighbours are out. Fuck off. Get out of here. We know what you're doing. I was like, no, I'm just waiting to pick up my mate. Get out of here. Everyone's on it.
Yeah.
Like, the best one that we did was, there was a guy who ran a pub in West Cork, and he thought some of the staff were nicking from the till. So they rang us and said, would you come down and spend the night in the bar?
Oh, so you didn't just do claim type stuff?
I did affairs as well, yeah. Did affairs.
Fuck,
Did
and you were 19?
Yeah. 19. But that's why I got the job, because we're like, who's going to take a 19-year-old as an investigator?
That's such an interesting.
You're sitting at the
point.
bar with crisps and a Coke.
No, so what happened was three of us went to the pub. On a Friday night, this pub, we went in and they said, the person we're looking at is Aaron. He's working, he would say like he's tall, glasses, whatever. We think he's nicking from the till. So we would go down, we would turn up when Aaron was on, and one of us would drive, and we'd order 2 pints, say 2 pints of Guinness. We'd have a night out, like.
Yeah.
But we would always pay with 50s or 20s to get change. So we would always make sure Aaron would serve us. Now, we might not see anything. So Aaron would order I would order 2 pints of Guinness. And as I'm ordering 2 pints of Guinness, the other fella's watching the till. So 2 pints of Guinness, say at the time, was say €8. So we're due €12 back, right? Your man puts in the 20, and then he comes back, gives us €12, but the 20 goes into his pocket.
Yeah.
And we see that twice. We just finish the pint and leave. We then write a report, goes back to the manager of the pub. Maybe the manager of the pub couldn't afford security above the till, you know?
Yeah.
Security cameras, and then that person gets sacked then.
Was there anything you said no to?
No, I was so like I didn't really have any choice about what jobs I would do. I would always be with somebody as well. I was learning.
Right.
So I would never. There was one I did. We did an affair. Now this was nothing to do with me. Like I wasn't involved in the affair, but it was my mate was doing it. He was doing a foxer.
What's that?
Cash job.
Right.
So basically, somebody's cousin was married to someone, and they thought the guy was getting married.
The
Thought
coolest
guy was
guy I've ever
cheating.
met in my life.
Guy was, huh?
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
That you used to do this when you were 19.
19. Oh, and I was really bad at it.
Doing a foxer.
Huh? Doing a foxer, yeah.
That does sound cool.
Imagine
actually.
at 19.
I'm doing
Oh,
a
you coming out
foxer.
to the disco, can't mate? Doing a foxer.
Yeah. That's pretty.
So
Right,
I'd go to Limerick, right? So there's a guy married to a woman. Married, obviously.
Hate that.
5 years. Married 5 years. She was suspected that he was having an affair because he'd joined the gym. And he came home one night, and every time he was coming up from the gym, she realised that his clothes in the gym wasn't wet. So he wasn't going to the gym, so the towel wasn't wet. Or something like that. So she suspected he was having an affair. So she rang this company. And then... she rang someone and said, look, speak to this guy. He's a PI, private investigator, and he'll check him out for you. So you get paid a day rate. And he says to me, do you want to come and do this affair with me? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. I'd see what the crack is like. So we turn up in Limerick and at his office. So she told us his car, where he worked, what time he finishes work at. So he finishes at 5 o'clock, say, in the office. We get there for like 4:45. You know, next thing you know, he leaves at 5. We're like, brilliant. Where's he going? So he goes to a fucking hotel.
That easy?
He goes to a hotel, meets a woman for coffee. Nothing happens. They just meet. So we go in for coffee. So he's sitting over there. We're sitting over there. That's not his wife though. And they're chatting away, and it's like a business meeting. So we're thinking, oh, he's just on a business meeting.
Right.
Next thing you know, they both leave the hotel and they snog in the hallway.
But to be fair, have you ever met him for business? Because
That's standard
just the way he does
practice
it.
when I do.
So
it.
what we do then is we've no cameras to film that because
Right.
obviously we get away with it. So he just rings the wife, says, yeah, I've seen it. And we just drive away and never to be seen again. Like the guy's cheating on his wife and they've got kids and she just wants confirmation that the husband is cheating on him.
Now, it's all making sense because I think what we figured out is he's an undercover comedian.
Exactly.
He is here
He doesn't
to
even like
infiltrate
stand-up.
the Northern Irish comedy scene.
He's just trying to catch
I'm
up.
actually-
with
he's
that.
gonna bring it down.
I'm actually employed by the Arts Council. No, but the thing is, it's like I was 19 years of age doing it. It was stupid job. It was very, and the people I worked with weren't very nice.
Right.
And it was I was young. I was just like, maybe be like a Y5. I'll be jumping on cars. I'm going to have power. You have nothing. All you're doing is just checking things out.
Right.
It's dull. And you're waiting around. And it also was before like phones, so you couldn't scroll on the phone. You just had to sit there and literally look out a window.
Right.
When I
boring.
when I was 19, I was on the Queen's University dance team. So that tells you where we both were in our lives at that
and also
point.
there was nobody else on it.
It was
Sad it was just him.
He created the course. Like,
I was the first guy to be on it. There you go, facts.
well, yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, that's brilliant, man. Absolutely buzzing for you. Can't wait.
Sure.
So fucking happy for you, mate.
Do you
Get a job.
you're doing Black Box again?
I'm doing the Black Box again in February. Very excited about moving into the big room, and I'm so impressed with Northern Irish audiences, man. Really cool people that really support it. So
Yep.
if and I've also got the podcast Cork in the North every Thursday 6:00. We're growing. We're building a new studio now. It's going from strength to strength, and yeah, like it's great to be living here, and people are so cool, and you know, I look forward to staying.
We'll put a link to the Black Box tickets in the description
Yeah.
of this. Aaron Butler. Now,
Jesus, I'm so embarrassed.
for 2.5 years, I've been looking at you and saying, "What do you have to plug?" And the only thing you were plugging,
Was your shows? Well, and my butt.
that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
But Aaron,
Still
get ready
am.
for this.
Yeah.
Do you need anything to plug, mate?
I've got something to plug today. Yep, I've got some plug. Aaron Butler, Africa.
Oh jeez.
The 16th of April, 2023. This guy's going to be doing support. The
Keep apart.
Lavery's Comedy Club. There's only 36 tickets left. I'm raging. You know,
And it's
I'm sorry to
April.
say. And it's 4.5 months away, so
Yeah.
that's good. If I sell one ticket a week until then, I'll sell it out, and that's the sales target. Go to aaronbutlertickets.com, and that's where you
It'd be
get.
funny when you find out I bought all the tickets and you do it in the night and it's just me.
I'll
Just sitting there, boxer shorts, naked, oiled up.
Bandage up.
yeah, and
a car crash.
and then he's in the corner of the room being like,
But we can't see it's him because he's painted like the wall.
see, yeah.
We'll put the link for that in the description as well.
Thanks,
Cork in the
thanks.
North comes out on Tuesday.
Thursday, 6 o'clock.
Thursdays is right. Begins with a T anyway.
We'll be there.
And it's great. And you've had brilliant guests on.
Yeah.
All the local comics. So thank you, boys, for coming on. Andrew and Aaron. Andrew and Aaron?
A&A.
Hey,
A&A.
just works.
Just works.
Gentlemen,
Thanks.
to the new north.
To the new north.